Just never lose sight of every interaction matters. Going above and beyond where you can is super important. And if you're doing that consistently, right, eventually you're gonna get to that elite status.
Hey, friends, and welcome back to the Multifamily Review. I'm your host, Marcus Armstrong, and I am absolutely thrilled to be bringing you another deep dive into the world of, you guessed it, multifamily. If you're just joining us, the Multifamily Review is the podcast dedicated to the folks who make the multifamily industry tick, the leasing agents, the maintenance crews, the property managers, and just about everyone else up the chain. We're here to talk about the challenges and the triumphs, the trends and the best practices, and everything else that impacts your day to day. Today, I'm sitting down with Scott Davidson, our manager of training, so he can tell us all of the tools, tips, and tricks of the trade to make the highest levels of online performance. The man, the myth, the legend, known by many names, Lux, Scotty Boy, Scotty the Kid, Scott Dog. Scott, man, thanks for joining.
Man, it's an honor to be on here. I can't believe it took this long. The dynamic duo is back. So happy to be here.
Yeah, look, I tried for forever to get you to come on. People up above, they holding us down. They just didn't want to see Scott and Marcus hit one more roll.
Come on. I mean, we're honestly probably the best duo out there. I mean, you got, Buzz and Woody, Bonnie and Clyde, and then you got Scott and Marcus. So,
Look, it's a beauty, brains. That's all it is over here,
hey,
baby.
come on.
Scott, I tell you what, man. We just had a bunch of rankings and stuff come out, and we've got a lot more planned for later this year. And I want to break into those and kind of really get a strong understanding of what people can do to make these rankings or have some impact on their scores. But before we do that, Scott, can you just give everyone kind of a rundown? What do you do here at J Turner?
Yeah, yeah. So the biggest thing is just to support our clients, get engagement in the dashboard, and really, put processes in place and go through the trends with them to get them to where they want to be on those rankings that we're going to be talking about. Every client's different, but they can really use us to really get them to where they want to be.
Hey, love that. So, I mean, I guess what you're trying to tell me at the end of the day is if someone has some type of resident satisfaction goal, you want to hit it with them.
Absolutely, that's what we're all about here is that resident satisfaction.
Let's first talk about the gold standard for properties. Let's talk about the elite ranking. That's the elite 1% conventional properties and like the top of the student properties. Tell me about those. What can people do to make these rankings?
Yeah, no, that's a big one, and every property's trying to strive to get there. And honestly, I want every property to be on there that I work with. And I think it's just understanding that everything starts with them. They're the ones that are in the units. They're dealing with the residents and the prospects, and so every interaction matters. I think it's important to understand that. I think sometimes it's important to listen a little bit more than try to react or respond, and then use our platform, the platform that we give them. Use what BAC is telling them as far as data, but going through the dashboard and looking through the survey feedback, looking through those reviews, and identifying where there's room for an improvement, and then get better from it. Right? It's like if you're on the surveys, I mean, it's coming to you. Just never lose sight of every interaction matters. Going above and beyond where you can is super important. And if you're doing that consistently, right, eventually you're gonna get to that elite status.
Well, let's say I'm at Marcus Property A, right? And I'm at like a 92 aura. I'm right on the cusp of breaking through. You have any best tips, tricks, practices, things you've seen work, things you haven't seen very work?
I mean, you're sitting at a great spot there. Still something to be proud of, but I know you want to make that list. And I think it just, again, boils down to where we can get better. And then, asking for reviews is super important. It's a team sport, as we always say here. Everyone should be getting involved on that. And if you're doing that, if you're taking what BAC is giving you, what training is giving you, as far as areas of opportunity or where your strengths are, and kind of capitalizing on that, you'll be able to move the needle.
Love it. Actually, I sat in on several trainings with you when I first started, and I think one of the most impactful statements you've ever said, at least to me, whenever I heard it, was live in the moment of gratitude. Right? I've held on to this forever. For longtime listeners of the podcast, you definitely have heard this before. But if you're helping Mr. Johnson in the office with some issue, right, and you get everything resolved and solved, the best time to ask for that review is right there, right? Because you solved his problem. He's happy. You're happy. You he's in front of you, it's in front of mine. It's like the best time to ask for the review. Yeah. So like live in the moments of gratitude.
Yeah, I think that's super important to capture that in real time. That's why I would say it's a team sport. Everyone has different interactions. So if somebody coming in has a question about leasing and you take care of that, if maintenance comes in and successfully, unclogs that sink and they're like, "Oh my God, Jim, you're the best," those are perfect times to take advantage of that situation and say, "Hey, it means so much to me if you would leave some feedback on Google for me."
Hey Scott, I'm glad we talked at the property level, but I want to take a jump up real quick. What can companies do, at the executive level to try to help get their entire company into these rankings?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think each property has to do their part. But I think at the executive level, I think holding accountability, helping drive the ship, I've seen be really successful. All of those companies that I've seen be in the top spot, properties be in the top spot. There's a kind of like a top-down approach, understanding this is important, leveraging the BAC information, the data that we provide to them, different things that we give them the tools to be successful, utilizing that, but just holding accountability, making sure the teams are in there working it. And if each team is doing that, eventually we're going to move as a company. So I think it's super important that if you want to get on those divisional rankings and be in the top spot, that it really does start from the top down, holding accountability, leveraging the data, that kind of thing.
One of the questions I get asked quite a bit by executives at these other companies that want to jump into the rankings, what seems to be working at these other companies? Are they making games out of generating reviews? Is there competitions? Have you seen any competitions without giving away the secret sauce of some of these companies that have worked better than others?
Yeah, absolutely. I think holding internal competitions. I think that's a big thing. Setting KPIs, setting goals, all leads into that kind of accountability, and it's a great way to track that. And I find that companies are super competitive, right? They're especially at the property level too. So I think definitely holding some competitions, maybe gets the most reviews, that kind of thing in a certain amount of time, really can help project that and kind of move the needle forward there.
I mean, I guess if you're listening and you're wanting your company to be in these top divisional rankings, these are the best tips and tricks for you, right? You really got to try to get everyone involved. Yes, at the property level, there has to be buy-in. Obviously, you should strive to be making those elite lists every single year. But even further than that, if you're one of the executives, you need to make this just ingrained in the company culture, right? Like this has just got to be something that's done every single day. And I think it's really easy. Again, if we go back to the whole idea of just like living within the moments of gratitude, these are people's homes. You're already trying to make a difference and trying to make their living experience as great, as wonderful as you possibly can. It should just come naturally right after that. That after you have a great interaction, generating the review should be pretty simple at that point. I think sometimes as an industry we get lost in this idea of quantity versus quality. Yes, you got to have 5-star reviews to get a good rating. It's not about just chasing these 5-star reviews, right, Scott? It's about trying to gather the right type of feedback.
People on site starts there. It starts with understanding this, get the buy-in there. Like again, every interaction matters. And if you're doing those little things that add up to these big things, if you're trying to go above and beyond and doing simple gestures, that's going to lead you to ultimately getting, the 5 stars are going to come a little bit more easier. You're going to be dealing with less headaches and that coupled with the buy-in from the top down, kind of pushing it, doing those competitions and holding accountability, I think is really going to get you to that top spot.
Let's actually talk about these little tiny things, right, that properties are doing. We're in our, I believe, second year of unveiling this new award category that we haven't really done prior to this, but it's something that we're still getting out there. It's the Einstein Best of Awards, right? So it's going through all the reviews that a company has received and picking out like which companies have done the best at limiting their customer service type of complaints, their communication complaints, their maintenance complaints. What are you seeing with companies that are succeeding in those areas that maybe companies that haven't quite broken into like the top 5 of these lists are doing? Well, what's the difference between these two?
I think when it comes down to customer service and communication, it's as simple as like, "Hey, I had to call you 5 times," right? Like, obviously, you're going to get frustrated about that, and I think, just understanding that, timeliness, put yourself in their shoes of like, okay, like I'm going to get frustrated too, right? If I have to wait on something, if you're not, giving me all the facts on something, if you're not communicating, if you're not picking up your phone, all of that kind. So the clients that really are getting more positive feedback on that side of things, they just understand that, and they're doing a great job of communicating, over communicating, going above and beyond where they can. I've seen amazing reviews of people stepping outside of things that they probably don't normally do, right? And that's going to take you to that next level with getting the positive feedback in those areas.
Scott, what I'm hearing you say is by just focusing on the fundamentals, you're setting yourself up for success overall.
I think so. I think that's what I'm saying, right? At the end of the day, like it's super important. And we've done other podcasts on this, and just that's the difference. I think the people are the difference. You can have all the technology, all this in the world, but going above and beyond for somebody, creating a great living experience, it's within our control, and it's I think it's everything, right? So
If I had to boil all this down into one like good starting point, answer the phone, right? Like that's as simple as it gets. Start there, build from there.
I think it's as simple as that from what I'm saying. Just answer the phone, right?
All right, Scott, I want to thank you so much for your time and experience on this. But before you go, I got to ask you one question. What's your favorite song right now?
Ooh, my favorite song right now. I like the new Morgan Wallen song. Uh, yeah, big Morgan guy. Can't wait for that album. May 16th. Can't come soon enough.
I can't believe this guy from New York is so obsessed with the country singer. It's my favorite thing.
I know it's odd.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Multifamily Review. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of multifamily. Until then, keep innovating, keep connecting, and keep making multifamily amazing. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or topics you would like to hear about on the show, reach out to us at research@jturnerresearch.com. Goodbye.